How's it going out, everyone? It's your boy, Bills HQ, and today we're going to actually be looking at the season patch notes for the latest season. Let's go over right here. So this is right here. It's on the EA site. Patch notes for season 8. So let's get into it. So obviously the new legend will be coming out. Fuse. Basically, he's a mercenary turned cage fighter. You can take a look at his video, a whole explanation of his video on the EA Apex Legends channel. It goes more in depth about his character. As you know, his passive is he gets to stack an extra grenade per inventory slot, and and he can fire the grenades farther and faster, more accurately. It's kind of like imagine kind of like this passive kind of to like Advanced Warfare when you had like the grenade on the slot and you can kind of like shoot it out in certain areas. Kind of like I'm pretty sure it's gonna be kind of similar to that. So if we go back and look at Advanced Warfare, and had an exoskeleton suit, the grenade will come out from the side. So that's kind of like a comparison you can look at. You can also launch a cluster bomb, which continuously expels airburst explosives on impact. Sorry about that. Yeah, it launches a bomb that continuously expels airburst explosives on impact. You kind of would see that in the actual trailer, I believe. And then you have like the big bombard, the ultimate, which is kind of like bombards the whole area with napalm, kind of like a napalm spray. Um, but yeah, the new weapon right here, this 3030 repeater. This 3030 repeater actually uses heavy ammo. The heavy ammo that I used in it, so it uses heavy ammo like the Spitfire, the Wingman, like those weapons. So slow down the character on impact. The 3030 repeater, it actually requires the user to rechamber their rounds in between shots. It kind of has like a rhythm to the shooting. They can also like charge up the shots too and have a greater impact. What else to say here? It also reloads with one time, which makes it some interesting resource management. Something you won't find on guns, like even on the Massive that they're saying. You can reload individual rounds in between shots. Gives the repeater the ability to lay down consistent precision range pressure. That's something that full reload weapons kind of struggle with. You have to reload the whole thing. Having able to consistently shoot someone, press fire consistently in between shots, kind of gives it a little more edge than certain weapons. If like someone's fully reloading, you can get the drop on them with the 3030 repeater. So we also have the King Canyon update. We'll take a look at that later. Come back to that. But legendary magazines are coming into the mix now. It actually reloads, automatically reloads your stored weapons if you switch to a different weapon, and the magazines of the other weapon. When you switch back to it, and if it wasn't reloaded before, will be already reloaded and ready to shoot. So you don't have to like switch weapons and reload midway and lose a fight because you couldn't reload your weapon. It happened way too many times. So that should fix that issue. Not really an issue, but like the inconvenience. You'll finally have a damage counter, so it's being added to the HUD. It's 100% highly requested because we're waiting to see like how much damage we do every second in the game. Because sometimes we could be close to a 4K damage and we don't even know, right? This one's going to make it much more easier, much more viable in terms of counting the damage and getting up to the 4,000 damage, 2K damage, whatever badges you want to unlock later on, right? So pinging ammo now in inventory displays the ammo count, quality of life changes basically, and the colorblind update. This is the big update right here. It's the Legend meta update for Wraith, the hitbox adjustment. So obviously Wraith has always been so small, right? Really hard to hit. Certain areas I can see like on the whole hitbox, like certain areas you can't even hit. Like in between here, it doesn't like really register. It's only up to here, 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 and like if you hit it between here, they might not even register as a hit, and like it's frustrating. So this update kind of makes it a little more larger. I'd say like she's still small, but like the hitbox is a little much more bit bigger too. As you can see over here, this is a little smaller, and this right here makes it much more bigger. Gives a little more space in between this area right here. And then you see here it's a little smaller here. Hitbox is bigger here. Hitbox got bigger here over here too. But yeah, it looks like it did a couple improvements. A little much more bigger, like this is a little more smaller. You can see between lengths, and then Lipian these lengths right here. It's much more larger. Compared to this one, not too much bigger, but a little more viable. Should be easier to hit. Let's see how it happens, because obviously she has the highest win rate still since the first season, from the first day, so the first game that came out, like season 0. So let's see how this increases her, or maybe decreases her winning chances. Moving on to Rampart, Sheila's angle has increased, so like the gun turret from 120 to 180. Basically, it's really hard to use Sheila. I mean, it's hard to use Rampart because she's always like a woman. She's kind of has to stay in one place, kind of, and then hold on a position. Apex is really fast moving, so you can't really always stay in one position. Sometimes you get caught up in that one position too long, and that one position then turns into a bad position now because of the squad coming from the side, or you're in between two squads now because they're, the firing and stuff, third party, fourth party, fifth party, all that jazz is a big staple in this game. It happens a lot. So they're actually increasing her wall health too, from 1 to 45. They basically just said like there was just, she wasn't performing well. No one really liked using her like that. So with for Horizon now, the gravity lift effective cooldown is increased from 21 to 25. The 15-second cooldown timer will now start when the gravity lift disappears. Okay, that's good. Okay, so that means you can't really like abuse the graph right away. Kind of like when Pathfinder, when he does his grapple, not till it lands fully, they'll reload again. And that same thing for like Bangalore and stuff. Let's move on to Octane. So Octane actually is getting his launch pad maybe a buff, I would say, like remastered. They're saying like the Octane super jump was hard to do now because of the changes they made to the double jump, kind of negated the super jump. So what they do now is that hitting jump pads from a standing position will launch players on a higher arc, like the speed and trajectory of the old jump. So if you're hitting from a standing position, you'll have a higher arc. But if you're doing a crouch position, you slide into it, you'll have a lower arc, but you'll go further. So go lower, but be lower down, but it'll go further than the standing position, high up, just straight high up. Imagine like shooting a basketball, like imagine you just throw it straight, go straight like that, right? But if you shoot it all the way high, it'll take that arc. So that kind of like gives you like a visualization of what the Octane change is happening. For Crypto, they're moving the ability to stick arc stars to drones. Very simple. Stick the arc star to the drone and fire the drone to the enemy. They're removing that. Loba also, loot inside unopened care package now visible for eye quality. That's good. Acceptable through black market. Now this thing is big too right here. Caustic gas will now dissipate as soon as a team. Caustic team is eliminated. You don't know how many times you've been in a fight. You finish the squad, but the caustic gas is still there, and the caustic gas kills you. Most annoying thing, they're mitigating that now, making it so that the caustic gas gets eliminated when that squad is gunned too, so you don't die from that, which is good. It's a big change, and they needed that for a while now. Also, Mars decoys are creating footsteps. This date was supposed to come out Fight Night. I think they put in the patches by accident, as they say right there. But now they will get an update where the decoys will have footsteps now too. We'll have like a whole barrage of footsteps, but like maybe key ones will have footsteps, making it harder to determine which is the real one. Fully kitted rotation. They removed the Ringman, Sentinel, Havoc, G7, and Alternator. Added R301, 3030 repeater, Mozambique, and Longbow, DMR, and Spitfire. Yeah, it's good to add the 3030 repeater. Obviously, it's a new weapon. And having 301 back in there too is fully kitted is really nice too. And they're also removing the Golden Barrel. I would say that's fine because Golden Barrel is pretty OP at times. That's good. Double tap hop up is being removed. This is big. I felt like the EVA double tap hop up was broken. It wasn't really appreciated as much. Like I remember using it a lot during Winter Express 2, and it was just like I would just not even aim sometimes, and it would just kill people like that. It was pretty easy to use. It's kind of like using the Peacekeeper in a start at times. You just pop in, pop out. So moving that kind of is a good thing. And go rounds 2 will be added back into the routes. You can use R301 ammo rounds, and I believe also the flatline. Bullet damage decreased from 16 to 15 for the Volt, which is good because the Volt is an overpowered weapon. It's the easiest weapon to use. It just demolishes pushes. A little bit of decrease is good. Let's see where that takes us. Maybe we'll see another decrease later on if it's still too powerful, but we'll see. Bullet damage increase for the alternator, which is good. They won't see like this damage increase. I think is to negate the not adding off like those rounds that they had for this gun before with the shield rounds. I forgot what they're called. Forgot what they're called, but they had these rounds for the alternator before, disruptor rounds, and it would just shred shields. So instead of adding that back, they're increasing the bullet damage. It looks like, which is good because offhand it just need a little more buff to make it more viable. Is it a good weapon? Like it is like a nice straight, low recoil weapon. It's just not as powerful. Bullet damage increase from 18, 19 for the Spitfire. And increase the reload speed. It is a heavy weapon, so like on a machine gun, so that's a viable option. And also the reload for MT is increased also. So increasing bullet damage and then decreasing the reload speed to kind of like balance out the weapon, which is good. And then fire rate increase for the evade because the double taps removed. Sonar ability no longer. Stop caustic vision. Fix this right here. Loba exploiting some areas in King Canyon with her bracelet have been fixed. Yeah, like just basic stuff for Rampart. Her shield can't be placed on the jump pads. Havoc, fix an issue, cause a Havoc to have 100% accuracy when hip fire through a Rampart's amp cover. I didn't even know that. That's cool. Alright, that's a good update. Good thing that they fixed that. Fix the POV issue that occurred with Horizon's ability, then immediately going to ADS with a Peacekeeper. It's good. And then a bunch of club stuff, and then miscellaneous stuff right here. Fix an issue that allowed thermites to deal damage through walls, certain walls of Olympus. I think I did notice that here and there, which is good, and they fixed that. Okay, let's go. Let's see. So, for Kings Canyon, this update right here is gonna be in the next video. We'll stop this one right here, and then yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy season 8.